What is up, all of you regs and all of you shinies? It is Jackson and Jacob from the 1313 podcast coming at you not live, but pre-recorded. So if we make mistakes, we can edit them out. As you can see, my setup has turned into a little bit better than it was last week, but not great because last week I forgot the cable for my mic that I want to use for the show with my setup. And well, all I could find last minute was a 5-inch cable. And Jacob doesn't have his mic, I think.
No, I don't. So I'm gonna sound like donkey. Apologies, fellas. Um, Once again, I'm coming at you
Talking out of
live
a Pringle.
from what?
I said talking out of a Pringle can.
Oh, unfortunately, coming at you live from my girlfriend's place again because I got new roommates and I worked 11 hours today, and they're all asleep. And if they're not asleep, they're making noise. So it's quiet here. So it's a good spot to record. Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. But that's what makes us the most mediocre podcast in the Star Wars universe. It can never be truly perfect some days, but it is
It
the
will never be
thought
perfect.
that counts. No.
Yeah.
But
No.
in a quick overview of some news that we wanted to talk about before we got into Skeleton Crew for today, we had the Hasbro Gift of the Galaxy is back at it again this week, and we also had some news that was very shocking to Jacob that he didn't know about the Mando movie. I think I'm going to start with the Mando movie news because Jacob didn't know at all about it. So the news comes in, and this is actually confirmed, I guess, from credible sources that Jeremy Allen White, who is, if anybody watches the Bear show that's on Hulu about cooking, he's like the chef guy in that. He is casted to play Jabba the Hutt's son in the new Mando movie.
You see, I did see this, and I was like, yeah, that's a joke for sure. There's no way that's real.
No, it is real because people had to start like actually tagging like, wait, yes, this is like a real thing and it's not like an April Fool's like joke article.
Holy shit, Variety posted it? No fucking
Yes.
way.
So yes, now you know it's legit. If Variety posted it and Jacob is flabbergasted, then you must also be flabbergasted to know that too.
Uh,
But Jabba the Hutt Son is not a relatively new character, though. If you have been around in the Star Wars fandom for quite some time, you will remember that before the Clone Wars launched in theaters, they did a promo movie for it. And in that movie, Anakin and Ahsoka have to save and deliver Jabba the Hutt Son, Rada the Hutt, back to Jabba safely from Count Dooku and Ventress. So yes, it has been a pre-existing character in the Star Wars universe, and now it'll just be an adult version of Jabba, I'm assuming. Jacob
this
is
is
in
dumb.
disbelief.
No, that can't be true. I refuse to believe until I see him on the silver screen. I will. There's no way that's true.
Jacob is so excited by the news, he can't even give a proper reaction right now.
My proper reaction is there's no way in hell you're spreading misinformation. Even though Variety posted, I refuse to believe this. Live
The
action
13
Stinky.
podcast relies itself on credible information. We wouldn't spread fake news to our public, would we?
I still don't believe it.
No, but I was, yeah, I was just as shocked. No, because again, I was scrolling on Instagram, and that's just the thing. It was just popping up by like different sources, and I was at work, and I was like, "There's no way this is real right now." But I guess it is, and I guess maybe this means we'll have a Star Wars thing that goes back to Tatooine after all.
Yay, more Tatooine. Yay.
Yay,
Yay.
Tatooine! We can't do anything in Star Wars without Tatooine being in it. I guess.
And apparently, this planet that is in the middle of nowhere is apparently the center of the galaxy.
No, but
Anyway,
getting off of that at least, for the Hasbro Gift of the Galaxy, we did get some Heir to the Empire and Shadow of the Empire related stuff. I don't know which is which because I do not care. And if you have been a
is it
listener of our show for a while, you know I don't like Heir to the Empire or care about it.
because
But
Jackson has a very small brain.
rightfully so for the
Um,
TV.
yeah, so
I do
Shadows of the
not.
Empire is getting a 2-pack of Bausch Leia and then Luke in his fun red armor. So I have not read or had any of the comics for Shadows of the Empire. I haven't delved into that yet. So, but the two figures, they look super sick. Um,
Okay.
I do like them a lot. And then the 3-pack is for Heir to the Empire. This is the one I'm excited about. This is coming with Druid Sabayoth, Captain Pelion, and a brand new TVC Thrawn figure. And we all know I'm a flut, know I'm a flut for Thrawn, so and that's slut with a TH because if it's Thrawn related, you put a TH at the beginning of it. Um, this figure looks exactly like the TVC figure that came out at the beginning of this year, but the biggest changes are one, it's coming with the TVC Islamir, and then two, it has the kind of tassel shoulder bells that we see in the artwork of
Mhm.
the comics and the books before we see the metal ones that we see in like Rebels and the Ahsoka series. So slightly different, but different enough for me to go, ugh. So I will
Jacob, is that
definitely be
something you're
trying
going
to.
to purchase?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna try to pick this up. Um,
Okay.
just because I'm a bit of a Thrawn completionist. Um, and plus the artwork on the packaging looks super dope. I'm loving that.
Yeah.
Um, so loving that. Probably pick that up. One thing that's interesting about the Bausch Leia figure in this 2-pack is in the uh, pictures of the like product itself. Leia has pinless knees, but in the product showcase that Hasbro did, the display model had pins in the knees. So it looks like the old Bausch Leia with
Yes.
a new head sculpt, or maybe not. I'm saying I'm relying on like the product photos are a more finished one than the ones that they were displaying. Uh, but we'll see.
Yeah, because I could even imagine that they took the old Baushlea in for those photos at least because, like, for a lot of these other figures, they're literally just doing 3 scans of them.
Hmm. Well, they can't 3D scan Carrie Fisher.
No, I mean, like, they do, like, 3D renders of, like, the figures ahead of time and post those, like, posed 3D rendered images to say, "This figure is coming, but it isn't, like, made yet."
Yeah, they've been doing that for a while.
Yeah.
But that, and then also the that Powers of Evil 3-pack with Vader, Grievous, and Thrawn. That's
Mhm.
now it went from being able to pre-order to now you can just order it on Amazon. I know I pre-ordered
Yep.
that a while ago, so we'll see when that starts shipping.
Yeah, that was a long. Ooh, and the TVC Ghost, if you pre-ordered that, you should be able to go to FedEx and see your shipping label is created.
Hmm.
So, my Ghost, I'm pretty sure the label is already made for it, and it'll probably be coming eventually, but we'll see, we'll see.
Hmm. We'll see. So exciting things with figgies and toys, and we're just giant man children. Um, and now I'm gonna derail this before we talk about Skeleton Crew real quick with a gaming. I need to tell everybody. I need
Okay,
to shout
okay.
it from
Oh,
the
no,
highest
yeah.
rooftop.
Gotta derail it
The
before we get the Skeleton Crew.
I gotta do my. I'm having my hyperfixation again. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle came out on December 8th. I have been playing it absolutely nonstop. It is game of the year. It took Outlaws and shat on it. Star Wars Outlaws was like, okay, this game is amazing. I'm really, really enjoying this game. Um, the story in it and the performance is fantastic. It feels a lot more like a Raiders, Temple of Doom, and Last Crusade more than Crystal Skull and Dial of Destiny, which everybody is like, no, those suck, which I like them. But no, I'm very much enjoying this game. I think everybody should play it if you have Game Pass. It's day one free on Game Pass. Um, it's on Steam, and apparently there's talks, rumors that it might be going to PlayStation later. So,
It
but
yeah, it will go to PlayStation later.
but it is. it's very good. This is the first time I've played a Bethesda game since Fallout 4 where I've been like, this is good. Since
Oh
Bethesda's
wow,
been
yeah,
just
that is true.
dropping absolute dookie for the past decade. Troy Baker gives an absolutely phenomenal Indiana Jones performance. He sounds a lot like Harrison, like a young Harrison Ford, and like in the small details of it. Like when you're listening to like the game show, you're like it's okay, but like when you're in the game, it's like you don't even notice it. There's like little things like how he yells sounds exactly like Harrison Ford. So it's good. It's really good. I highly, highly recommend it to anybody. It's a really good first person exploration and puzzle game, stealth, combat, all that fun stuff.
Yeah. No,
It
good
feels
to
a
know.
lot
Good to
like
know.
if you played
Ooh.
because lots of people were comparing it to Wolfenstein because Machine Games is like the main development. And they did the
Oh,
Wolfenstein games. It feels a lot more like Dishonored, if you remember Dishonored, Jackson. Uh,
I never played
Dishonored's a
that. I
lot
played
like
Thief. No.
yeah, Dishonored is a lot like Thief, where it's like you're very sneaky.
Okay,
So it's a good game. I'm enjoying it a lot. All right, I'm getting off my soapbox. Play it.
nice. All right. I'm going to derail this for another quick second. If you have been checking us out on YouTube, you will see that I have. Huh?
I burped.
Oh, my bad. No, but yeah. So here was today's build. It was a lot of fun. I've done a bunch of the other ones, but I'm. It's going to be pre-recorded now for every day, just because. Oh yeah, crap. What are we going to do next week for recording? We have to figure that out. But Jacob and I might be recording in person soon. What? You'll have to see about that. But okay, that's it. That's it that I have. We can talk about
Mhm.
skill. I do not want your feet pics. Please take the banner off, Jacob. I do not want the feet pics. Please take the banner off, Jacob. I do not want the feet pics. Please take the banner.
Okay, Dr. Umar. So,
But
Skeleton Crew.
Skeleton Crew, a lot happened this episode. We saw just like the most briefest recap possible. The kids escaped from jail, traveled to a planet that they had never seen before, and then they shot at the good guys. They shot at the X-Wings, and they're like, these are some goons. You should shoot at them. And I was like, no, wait, please don't actually shoot these people down.
Yeah. So, all right, that's it. That's the episode, guys. We'll see you guys all next week. We love you very much. Bye. Roll
No,
the
but
outro. Roll
Jacob,
the
how did
outro.
you feel about it?
Hello there.
No, no, I liked it a lot. It seems you and I are both obsessed with the owl. So, no, this it was a fine episode. It was only like 30 minutes long this week. It's kind of short.
Yeah.
Um, but it was a good time. Uh, uh, I think we're very right on the camp that this dude isn't force sensitive nor a Jedi whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm still like really, really leaning on the fact that he isn't force sensitive and that maybe things are happening solely by coincidence instead of that. Because when he was with like the owl lady today, he could have used the force and done something like that. But Jod has used the force when it's almost been like it could have been a coincidence, like the light going out or knowing people around the corner because he didn't see the other droid around the corner and he could have totally sensed that. But
Hmm.
I'm still totally convinced that he's a real Jedi because he even caught himself when they were trying to like leave and they're like, you can't tell us, well, we can't leave until like you explain yourself, basically. And he was like,
Hmm.
I didn't exactly say I was a Jedi.
Yeah, just because the kid's been like, "You're a Jedi," he's been like, "With his hood," every time, just smoldering. Um, so yeah, I'm not convinced. Um,
No,
maybe he's
I'm not
like
at
a
all.
force sensitive, but I don't. I'm not putting my chips on Jude Law on this one.
Yeah, so maybe we'll have to see. At least I guess just like talking about like the show in general, I thought this episode was fun because there's a lot of things we got to see happen at once. but I also feel like the way that this series is being shot won't leave enough like room in the middle for like filler for something. Whereas with like Mando, I kind of feel like before like a major like action event, it was like, okay, we this is the battle. Now we have to prep for the battle, and episode 3 is the battle. Where this is just like an adventure story that's very like linear and set. So things are just happening like as they
Hmm.
go. And it isn't, guys, like we need to take a beach episode and like sit around and talk the entire time.
Guys,
You
Goku needs
know?
to charge up his Kamehameha for 3 episodes straight. So,
Yeah, so that's why I'm very optimistic to see how the show keeps flowing, and I don't think we'll get like a boring week out of it at least.
hmm yeah, and I think it was we gotta talk about the droids. We gotta talk about the droids bit. So the kids escape.
Okay,
They escape. They
okay.
fly back to
We
their
could talk
ship,
about the
and they're like,
droids.
"We're not leaving without our yo ho pirate's life for me droid." So he's like, "Fine, I'll go back and get it." And
SME.
and then he's in the droid room, and we had the lovely interaction with the B1 battle droid sitting on the table. And he flicks him on and goes, "Did we win?" And he falls apart. Um, that was the best part of the episode, hands down.
Yeah,
I love.
I think it's been hilarious every time we see droids reactivated. The first question is, did we win the war?
Yeah, they're all confused. They were all shut down, unfortunately. And it's nice to see that this was a like a practical droid sitting on that desk rather than CG that we've seen in the prequels. So
Hmm.
me
Yeah, like a
me likey.
physical no, wait. That's probably the first physical B1 droid we've ever gotten in Star Wars then.
This is correctness.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you're right.
Unless you
Ooh,
go
because we
to
were talking about the droids.
unless you go to Batu and you are in the droid because Batu is canon and you're in the droid factory. There is a conveyor belt of droid parts that go across the ceiling, and every so often you'll see a B1 head just swinging. So.
Dang it, I was trying to find a photo because ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. It was this droid. I don't really know if that's gonna show up too well. This is also in that scene too from
Yeah.
Tatooine.
hmm
Okay, because
Yeah,
that was
that
the because I think
monstrosity.
yeah, it always reminded me of like something Sid like whipped up in his like toy like laboratory in Toy
To me,
Story.
it always looked like if droids were like skeletons, it looked like somebody left the muscle on the skeletons but still ripped off all the skin.
Yeah, exactly.
It's always been
No,
kind
but
of spooky, creepy.
yeah. Ooh, that was the other thing I wanted to talk to you about that scene. I literally saw this like an hour or two before recording the episode. The alien that is talking to Jude's character. Okay, sorry, I was hoping it would reconnect there. But the
Nope.
alien that's talking to Jude's character when he's like trying to escape, and he's like, "Oh, like maybe we should talk to Brutus about that." That's Doc Ock from Spider-Man.
Like the actor, like the actor.
Yeah, like the actor.
Oh,
Yep,
okay. I thought you were saying like
that's his
Doctor
voice.
Octopus's like tentacles were like somewhere in the background of that scene. I was like, huh,
No.
that's
No,
cool.
yeah, because apparently he's a really good friend of the director, so he agreed to like do that for the show. I mean, it's cool that it was like such a small like thing, but when he was speaking, I knew there was like something familiar to it. I was like, maybe we've seen this alien before, or maybe like just the voice, but yep, it's
Mm-hmm.
the voice of Doc Ock.
Slay, very nice. Cool, even.
Okay, so I gotta talk about one of the biggest conspiracy theories of Skeleton Crew right now. It was the biggest thing that's in the notes section too, but uh I want to give a very large shout out to David Edge, who is a longtime supporter of our podcast, a classic reg who's always here every week. Love you, David. Thank you so much for commenting on last week's video and leaving this because he had said it, and then I watched the episode this week, and it like clicked, and I was like, I get it now. But basically, the idea is that Ad-Adelan, or Ad-Aden, however you say the planet's name, is just a front, and that's how the First Order comes to power, because they're building Starkiller Base. That's why they have all of these people working in very specific roles, and you have to take a very specific test to place you somewhere. And nobody really knows like exactly what they're working on. They just know they're doing the work itself. They live inside a barrier. The New Republic can't help them, and they didn't even know about the Galactic Civil War.
Maybe. I don't know, because that doesn't make sense only on the fact that one, so Starkiller Base is a massive, massive planet. And we see multiple aerial shots of it and like from outer space in the movie.
Sure.
The barrier that we just discussed is revealed like through context clues and through the night sky that we see in the previous episode, that it's a gas giant. It's a ball of gas protecting the building. Well, the planet. And the kids are able just to fly through the gas to get out. Starkiller Base wouldn't we be, because it doesn't, we see it in its initial spot and then we see it move. Wouldn't we still see gas around it? And also the entire planet is ice. The entire planet is ice. Unless their theory of being like, well, it actually turns to ice after they move the planet because it's too far away from the sun, or it consumed the sun that was next to it and it made it all
No,
cold and shit.
I'm not saying Ad-Aden.
Are you saying
I
Ad-Aden
don't
is
think
the
Ad-Aden is
the
Starkiller
people on
Base.
Ad-Aden are building? This lag is awful. I
No, I'm
guess they
saying
don't know what
Ad-Aden is
5G
just
is in
like the
Hawaii.
group of people on it. Thank you, Jacob. You're lagging a lot for me too, so hopefully this doesn't go in the episode. But I'm saying that Ad-Aden is the front where they're getting all the workers to make Starkiller Base. It isn't the base itself. Like how in the
Maybe.
Clone Wars, the Republic and the Confederacy of Independent Systems, the CIS, are both funding and building the Death Star during the war, and they don't even know it. So that could be also, these people have been working on this project forever, so it could be something similar to that to explain how Starkiller Base was built by the time we see it in The Force Awakens. But I also want to mention too how they're also using Republic credits, which is something that no one has ever seen for, well, not that they haven't seen it, but they haven't seen it in a very long time because no one uses that, because the Empire kind of wiped all forms of currency and made it one consistent one instead.
You said turn in your Republic credits for new Imperial credits and get your new chain code now in the Bad Batch.
Yeah. Yeah. But I don't know. Me and David got our tinfoil hats on right now. I'm convinced that this show is going to show us where the First Order is and how they came to power. I think that may be the reason for it.
Yeah, because I'll be damned. I'll be damned if Mr. Filoni writes in Ahsoka Season 2 that Thrawn is the mind behind Starkiller Base. I will throw hands. Because the entire treason book is Thrawn being like, putting all your funds into one big egg is a terrible, terrible idea. And it'd be way better if we had the TIE Defenders, because then it just makes us able to be superior in numbers and move our weapons wherever we want. It will be vastly superior to anything that the rebellion has. And then Krennic's like, no, but big Bogo Burr. So if and Filoni already got me fucked up being like Thrawn, being like, long live the Empire. Motherfucking no. This motherfucker was only in it for the Chiss ascendancy. Now that the Empire's gone, it literally makes no sense that he's rooting for the Empire still. So I don't even Filoni, man, read these books. For the love of the Lord Almighty, read these books. Because if he tries to write it saying that Thrawn's responsible for Starkiller Base, I'm gonna go to his house and weep at his feet and be like, retcon it now. Do it again.
I don't think that's what actually happened, but I don't know. I guess we'll have to see where the show goes or when we'll know where Ad-Aden is, because I think that the Owl Lady had mentioned that it was during the time of the Republic, people still knew where it was, and then
Old Republic.
when the Republic fell, then it kind of just the Old Republic. Okay, my bad.
Which is different from the High Republic.
No, wait. Now that I'm thinking about this too, I'm wondering what I'm trying to remember the one kid's name. The kid with the curly hair who's obsessed with being a Jedi. Win?
Uh-huh.
Win? I
I don't
wonder
know
what
their
kind of
names.
history he's okay. I wonder what kind of history he's reading then, because when he's like flipping through his like tablet thing about stories, Luke in the Rancor is a story like on that. We see it's basically Luke
Allegedly.
Skywalker in the Rain, allegedly.
It
So
it
then
kind of
how
looks
is
like it.
Luke's
It could be it.
yes, could be it. But if it is Luke Skywalker though, how is that explained to these kids? And what is his story then? Because if they didn't know the Empire was a thing or that Alderaan got blown up, then who's to say that their history isn't completely edited?
Yeah, or it's just the history of their planet. Well, because the one girl was like thousands of planets. Like she's still in the mindset that there's just theirs and not really too much. Because I don't think they're teaching that. They're teaching you finances on this planet.
Yeah.
They said, "Welcome to
Yeah.
Yale."
Because they don't want you to leave.
hmm I think Ad and Ad's all part of that Yale
Well, yeah,
thing.
but a red flag. But it was a huge red flag for me at the beginning of the episode when like the parents are all talking. The security droid's like, "Yeah, they went out of the barrier. We can't really do anything about that." And they're like, "Well, can't you contact the New Republic?" And he's like, "Technically, no. Technically, no."
hmm
But,
So
mm,
slay,
but
slayulars.
yeah, that's me and David's theory.
Cool. It's a good theory if you're dumb. I don't know. Yeah, I could see where the line of thought is. I just don't.
Come on,
Well,
man.
I don't see it coalescing right now, but we'll see. Um, I also see you have a note saying that John Favreau and Carson Teva are the X-wing pilots. They're not. There's just not. We see one of the X-wing pilots, and it was neither of them.
I thought it was John Favreau at first. I'm not gonna cap. I couldn't really tell. I was watching it on my phone.
Nope, definitely was not. Definitely was not him.
But sorry, I was just trying to look because I wrote a note about this and I didn't follow up with it because Jude Law's character is shown to be named Crimson Jack. And so I was like, oh, like Crimson Dawn? Maybe there's a connection. And so I just looked it up really quick. And apparently he's in the, I'm going to correct myself for you all, see if it's Heir to the Empire or whatever it is. He is in.
Definitely not Heir to the Empire.
Um,
The drum roll is drumming and rolling as we wait.
yeah, give me a minute. Okay,
We're
he's in a
waiting.
few different comics. He's in like the Knights of Ren comics, the Helicon Legacy ones. Okay, so he's okay, so he wasn't like a Share to the Empire, Shadow of the Empire character. He's a relatively new character in the comics, but he's supposed to be like an Outer Rim like pirate. He looks absolutely nothing like Jude Law's character. He's called Crimson Jack because he has red hair and a red beard too. So
Retconned. They retconned my comics.
too bad. The comics are lame anyway. But
All this
okay, I
man
guess
reads is your Big Money Dad and David Goggins books. He needs to read some
no.
real literature, aka old Star Wars books.
I just don't want to read it if it doesn't like matter for the actual lore. Like I understand it influences some future decisions, but like I don't want to pick up like the brand new Star Wars comic knowing that it's a person just writing a Star Wars story and then whatever that they wrote about the characters is completely obliterated when they put it on the screen because that's the only true like canon.
Closed-minded fool. You're like those dudes in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade that were burning books. I wonder who they were.
I'm not mad, Jacob. Let's go. Let's
the,
go.
the way I said that, and I looked back at you, and you went from this to this, it's just like that, like it lagged through that, and you were just dead.
You're killing me, dude.
Dude, slowly.
No, but
Uh,
I don't know. So maybe because I was just looking at Wikipedia really quick, and it mentioned in the timeline that it was around like the First Order era that Crimson Jack like comes around. So I don't know. Maybe my tinfoil hat theory isn't that much of a tinfoil hat theory after all.
the dunce cap will come off if it becomes true. Until then, you're just telling me that the Earth is flat.
The Earth is not flat, Jacob.
What?
The Earth is not flat. We both know that.
Oh, I thought you said the Earth is not round. I was like, huh?
No.
Or do we know it? Smiling Friends, Jackson. Have you heard of it?
Yes, Jacob.
They
We
know
have.
the truth. They know the truth. Charlie and Pam know the truth.
But I was trying to grasp to see if I had anything else for the show, but I mean, I think I basically hit everything that I wrote down.
Yeah, the episode was really
Um,
short, so there isn't like a
yeah,
metric ton to talk about, other than they
no,
escaped.
yeah, and it's hard when they include like 5 or 6 minutes of credits, like in the episode too. I'm like, oh my gosh, does it need to be
Hey, whoa,
this
whoa.
long?
Yeah, they do. The unions say that they have to be that long. That is a thing. You know that, right? If your name is big or you
I
have the
can
entire screen to
imagine.
yourself, it just means that your contract or your union is great. There's
Good
this
to
one,
know.
I forget
Good to
what
know.
movie we were watching. I was watching with my film professor Brian, and I think it was the gaffing crew or the editing crew had an entire slide all to themselves, and he was like, "It's a good ass union." I was like, "Huh?" And then he explained to me that literally that's all. It's like disgusting contracts, like your screen time and credits, or whether you got the screen to
Hmm.
yourself. Like when it gets to the bottom, you see all the companies, and the companies have like basically the whole screen to themselves before the next one comes in. It's because
Yeah.
it's written in the contract or their union.
Wow. Did not know that. No,
Hmm.
but Jacob, where do you think the kids are going to be going next?
I think they're going to be going to. I don't think they're going to Adeline. Uh,
No.
I don't think it's spitting them out there. I think the coordinates are going to be wrong, and they're going to go on a new fun adventure. I'm trying to think of the only planets that we've really seen in Star Wars with gas giants around them. Is like Kessel with that giant like kind of blog thing that they have to like get the Kessel Run. I can't remember the exact name of the debris field around Kessel, but we see them. They got the Nova stuff around them. But other than that, we haven't been introduced to too many planets of that source. We've seen like asteroid fields, but that's about it.
Yeah, no, because didn't they say, um, oh, what was it? It was like in between Coruscant and Alderaan.
I don't think they said it was between it. They were saying, "Do you have any like planets that you know about?" And they were like, "Well, we know about these two."
Okay, okay. No, I was just trying to look at a star chart, but even if they said the between that, uh, I was gonna be like, bro, you're still cooked. Like, there's so much distance between those two planets.
Uh huh.
Because Coruscant's like at the core, and there's no way
Mm.
Adam's near the core.
No, it's definitely on the outer rim or beyond the outer rim. I know it's like
God.
between. So there's the outer rim, and then there's like wild space, and that wild
Yeah.
space is kind of filled with some gunk. And then you get to like where the Chiss Ascendancy is, where it's just like a different galaxy. It's like separated by like what the Chiss called the chaos. So I wonder if this planet could be like lurking in the chaos, where it's like this kind of unknown region between the two galaxies.
I don't know. I definitely think I'm just gonna maybe even predict for next episode they're gonna land on some planet. Obviously, like you said, it's not at Adam, and they're gonna
Hmm.
kind of be back at square one and be like, "Where are we?" And there's some whimsical thing we do on this planet before we end up leaving.
Hmm.
But because I was trying to rack my brain when you were talking, and I can't remember any point. I think we've seen almost all of the trailer footage for the show,
I think so too.
because I think everything else now is going to be new.
Hmm. I'm trying to. Yeah, and there's nothing on. Not even on Wikipedia I can
Yeah.
find with
Ooh,
just a
no,
simple
here's
Google
kind of
search
another
for that.
quick question before we like close out and decide to go on and whatnot. But what if the kids find out that Jude Law's character isn't a Jedi because a Jedi shows up?
Luke Skywalker
Cal
shows up
Kestis.
again. I don't think Cal's gonna show up. Mainly because uh, so the games are still in the time of the Empire. We
Yeah.
got one game left in that series,
Oh, you're right.
and
We
if
still do.
Cal was in it, if Cal was still alive after that last game comes out, I feel like he would have weaseled his way into um like meeting Luke or something like that, or like really joining up with the rebellion after hearing that there was a Jedi leading them. Uh,
Hmm.
but I then again I don't know. It was rumored like a year ago that Cameron Monaghan was partnering with like a live action Star Wars thing, but none of those sources were like really confirmed. It really was just rumor mill stuff.
Yeah.
Um, do I want to see Cameron Monaghan like play Cal Kestis in live action? Yes, definitely yes. Um, but I think that one's a little. I think your tinfoil hat just got a little longer with that one.
No, I mean, I was just saying that because it was a character you liked. If there was a Jedi to show up, it would probably be Luke.
Glub Shido. It would be Glub Shido.
Gluption. Oh, yep. How can I forget? Sorry.
Mm. Well, you got to think at this time, Luke is starting to build um his Jedi
Jedi
Order.
Academy.
I wonder how old Ben Solo would be at this time if he's even born yet, because Han and Leia have their kids during the Heir to the Empire books. And if the Heir to the
Hmm.
Empire movie is going to follow anything with those books along with the Mandoverse, then that's when Ben would be born. But because we're seeing Luke build this temple, and his first
Hmm.
apprentice was supposed to be Grogu, and Grogu just kind of was like, whoa. Um, so I'm assuming now that he's gone, Luke is going out recruiting. Um, so I don't know.
The Knights of Ren would probably be around.
Maybe, maybe. I don't know. This is like it's in this weird limbo of timeline where it's like we don't really have a lot of content to go off of between the original and Disney Star Wars. Um, and I like being in this timeline because it's like there's so much that you can do with it to like lead in
Hmm.
to the sequels. And that's what we're trying to do. But I don't know. I feel like the only feasible like Jedi that you could be like is gonna turn up would be Luke, but also I feel like that it's like if you make Luke turn up again, it's like you're playing. It's like a one trick pony. You did it with the one show, and you did it with another show, and if you're doing it again, it would just be dumb. You want to what I want to see? I want to see Han Solo. I'm still
That
so
would be epic.
interested. I'm still so interested because if they're doing the Heir to the Empire movie, it would make sense for Han Solo to be in it. Because he's in the Heir to the Empire books. The whole thing is like Luke is training. What if Leia shows up and she's a Jedi? Because Luke is starting to train Leia at this point.
Oh,
Um,
that's a good point. That would be crazy.
and I think that would work better because then it's like you show Luke a little bit, so you're teasing him in this area. You show Leia a little bit, you're teasing her in this area. Then you can get Han in there, and then you can get them all into the Heir of the Empire movie. Plus, it would make sense if Han Solo was in this because we know from the little bit of dialogue that you see between him and Leia is after Ben turns, he goes back to smuggling. So either right now he's A, trying to work on the New Republic, or B, he's still kind of smuggling around.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
So I don't think he's full smuggle yet because Ben hasn't turned, we think, at this point. Um, but it would be very possible since we're hanging around kind of like bad guy territory and all that stuff, I feel like it'd be very possible to see Han. I don't think we're gonna. I think if anybody, I think it would be Leia. And plus, I would love to see that. Get her daughter back in there to reprise that role. I wonder.
That's
I,
true.
it's still the same theory, like not theory, but like if you're because you already deep faked Luke. We've already you've set the precedent that Mark Hamill is Luke Skywalker in this era. So is that precedent going to be carried over with Leia and with Han? Are we deep faking Han and Leia? Because after doing Dial of Destiny and all that, that costs so much to do it for Harrison Ford. One, you have a really good trained AI now to make it look like Harrison Ford from that age. So technically you do it, but it was so expensive. It was like one of the biggest budget things in that movie that made it cost so much, and it flopped. It's just expensive to do, and Disney has pulled funding for Marvel and Star Wars as of
Mm.
recent. So do they have the budget to do that? So I don't know. Personally,
Her
I would like
daughter
to see
looks
them.
pretty similar. And we also
Well,
do have the guy who's in the Solo movie, and I think he was a fine Han Solo.
I think so too, to be honest. I think that movie gets way more hate than it deserves.
Oh yeah.
But I just it would be weird because then you have the precedent of AI Luke, and then Carrie Fisher's daughter and Solo Han Solo. Um, so it's I don't know. We're in a weird limbo right now. But I definitely want to see Han. I definitely want to see Lando. I definitely want to see like our OT cast again because especially after reading the Heir of the Empire books, that story is so good. And I would love for if they do a movie about Heir of the Empire, even though it's in the Mando verse, I would like it to try to like loosely connect to that book because there's no way you're naming a movie Heir of the Empire and then you're completely throwing all of the book material out the window. I feel like that would be very dumb.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't know. I can only think that they'll start to throw bits and pieces of it back into the lore.
We'll see. We'll see.
But
But I don't got too much more to yap
that's
about.
no, yeah, I mean that's honestly all that I had to this week. Jacob, did you want to take the good people listening and watching the show out for today?
What did you say? You were breaking up.
Sorry, do you want to take all the good listeners and watchers of our show today out?
Oh, I thought you said something about Fortnite the first time around. Yeah, hey
What?
guys, thanks for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you never miss a post. We're doing podcasts every week through Skeleton Crew. Maybe another video essay will be dropping in January. Maybe we're waiting until Skeleton Crew is completely over. We'll see. We're playing it by ear because we're just spitballing. We're having fun. I'm going back to my last semester of school in January, so it's gonna be a busy one. So we'll see. We'll see what we got time for. But thank you guys all for watching. Make sure you check out all the links below for Patreon, Discord, all social media. Uh, just check all that out. Press the links. They're pretty colors and stuff. And have a good week. And may the force be with you. Happy Life Day. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Oh.
Hello there. This is Mark Thompson. I narrate a bunch of the Star Wars audiobooks, and I just want to make sure that you subscribe to the 1313 podcast on YouTube and join their Discord to talk about some awesome Star Wars people. Follow them on social media and be sure to support them on Patreon and become a channel member for only $1 a month. Also, you can buy awesome merch if you want to look as cool as them. It is not an exaggeration to say this podcast is a work of art. Punch it, Chewie. Do